Hello everybody, Tyrone the God 3 here, and it's been a while since I've actually made a video. I had to go out. One of my best friends was in a wedding, so I was the photographer chosen to take pictures for that. It was a great honor. It was really fun. But with all of my personal life out of the way, I am time to do the review of Dragon Ball Super, episode 25, An All-Out Battle, The Vengeful Golden Frieza. This episode, I gotta say, I'm actually a little bit impressed by some of the things in this episode. While it wasn't the greatest Dragon Ball Super episode, there are little things about this episode that I actually did like. And I'll go ahead and explain them in the plot summary. The episode actually begins, Goku's at Super Saiyan God Blue, or Super Saiyan Blue as it's called now. And Goku's at Super Saiyan Blue, and when he says Super Saiyan Blue, for some reason he explains it again. I think that was just them going through the recap. And the fun part about the opening, the one thing I like about the opening now, is that the opening actually shows Goku landing down in the middle, then transforming Super Saiyan Blue as an homage to all of the other openings where Goku lands down in front of the Z Warriors and transforms Super Saiyan. So I really like that attention to detail. That's really cool that they made him do that. So that I like that. And I gotta say, I really relate to Vegeta on this one. Frieza tries to freaking attack Goku while on Super Saiyan Blue before he transforms himself, so obviously Frieza doesn't stand a chance. And the one thing I'm getting really annoyed about, and Frieza used to do it before, but now it's really obnoxious hearing it now, Frieza has a bad habit of bluffing about a form after, or if he's not fighting at full power. And he's been doing that for a while, even in the Namekian saga, or the Frieza saga in Dragon Ball Z. He would always be like, I'm not fighting you at my full form yet, or I have still some reserves of power left. Like, that's been his thing. Only this time it was a bit obnoxious. He kept saying it a lot. And I really related to Vegeta at this point, because Vegeta was like, hurry up and just show your full power already, Jesus. So everybody's finally like, cut the crap, Frieza, transform already. So, yeah, Frieza goes ahead and transforms into Golden Frieza. And I gotta say, it was alright. I mean, it's just this Golden Frieza form. It's kinda cool how they had like this soft chorus for when Goku turns Super Saiyan Guy, but then they had this hardcore, like, Death Note-esque chorus for when Frieza transforms. So it's kinda cool to see that. And when Frieza transforms into Golden Frieza, the fight is on, and the two are basically evenly matched. It takes a really long time for the fight to actually begin, though, because we end up in another Jocko and Bulma banter. And I've been meaning to talk about this for a while now, ever since the Resurrection F saga started. In the Resurrection F movie, we got short little like scenes of Bulma and Jocko on the sidelines doing commentary based on things that were happening in the major fight between Goku and Frieza. This happened to lighten up the mood, and Jocko's witty banters and humor made for some very humorous moments in the climax of the fight. They only happened a few times though in the movie. Here, it happens every episode, and they're way longer than they were in the movie. In the movie, there were about 15 seconds of just banters. Here, they're like 2, maybe 3 minutes, and it's exhausting, and they take up time, and they're time-consuming, and because of this, it took so long for some actual action to happen that it frustrated me to a degree. I didn't know how long Jocko would be doing commentary along with Bulma over this fight, but the fact that he's here so much breaks the immersion of the fight so much that it becomes very jarring, and I don't like it here as much as I did in the movie. Anyway, when the fight happens between Goku and Frieza, while that fight is taking place, we see that Goku's actually losing this time round. Or at least towards the end of the episode, we see that Goku's losing. But in the middle of all of that, we see that Whis and Beerus are headed their way over to the fight as well, so that they can get some of the strawberry sundae that Bulma had promised Whis anyway. And this is where the episode made a major change and started to look more interesting to me. It appears that Whis and Beerus on their way to Earth run into Champa and Vados. And when they run into Champa and Vados, the Beerus and Champa actually go into their banter go into their quick little banter, and they state that they're looking for something. And I already know what it is. I don't want to. I guess it dives in more into the Universe 6 saga, but they're looking for something, and they've come so close to finding them all. But it causes an argument between Champa and Beerus, and because of this, they end up in that big argument, and they're about to fight each other, but then they end up not fighting, so they have to go into a hurry, and they both go their separate ways. So I like how they're intertwining the Universe 6 saga into the Resurrection F saga. That way it doesn't feel so out of left field, Majin Buu saga. Yeah, so that's why it doesn't feel so out of left field. And because it doesn't feel so out of left field, I'm more comfortable with the results of it. Meanwhile, we get back to the fight, and we see that Goku's actually getting his butt kicked around this one. Beerus and Whis show up, and when they show up, the whole scene of, hey, if you just stand around me, then I'll protect you because I'm eating ice cream and I don't want, combat dust confused for sprinkles. That scene. Only it's way longer this time around for some weird reason. Anyway, once that happens, I like this moment where Frieza is like looking at everybody. He's like, I'll kill you, then I'll kill Vegeta, then I'll kill all your pathetic friends. And Lord Beerus! He just shows up. And I thought that was funny. It was a funny moment in the movie. It's funny here. They both are relatively unchanged. It's the exact same scene. But we see that Goku's getting his butt kicked and things look really bad for him. He has to lock down, and it's round 2 for Goku and Frieza, and then the episode basically ends. This episode, and I predicted this episode all the way through, so I knew what was going to happen. The only thing that threw me off was the Champa and Vados thing, because I didn't think they'd show up this episode, so that definitely saved this episode from being, the same carbon copy cutout of the Resurrection F movie. So I do like that moment happened. It saved the episode from being just, dull. The episode wasn't dull, though, because, one thing I do like about the fight itself, they actually make Frieza look like he's winning in this fight. Like, he's legit having an advantage on Goku. Whereas in the movie, Goku had the disadvantage in the fight at first, but we couldn't really see it. We heard Beerus and Whis say, it looks like Goku's losing the fight. But it looked more or less even. Goku was getting hits in, Frieza was getting hits in. But now we can legit see that Goku is getting his butt kicked. Even though he's in a new form, he's getting his butt kicked now. So I respect this episode for making it seem less, one-sided. Because it looked really one-sided in the movie. Where, Goku and Frieza were more or less even, with Frieza getting a few pop shots in on Goku. Now it legit looks like he's losing. It's not to a dangerous degree. He's still getting his hits in on Frieza idly. But this time, at least, it doesn't look like Frieza is slightly powerful than Goku is. Now it looks like he's a legit threat. Even though we all know that he's still doomed. But regardless, I really liked how this episode turned out. I liked the little moments in the episode where Master Roshi, Tien Shinhan, and Gohan were talking about the fight, because they actually put some pretty legit commentary in there. And in this episode, and the last episode, we got confirmation that Super Saiyan Blue is stronger than Super Saiyan God, the red hair colored transformation, which I gotta say I'm not disappointed about or anything. I actually I'm pretty content with it. I figured they would get stronger, and it would make a lot more sense that Goku's hair at red was in its normal state form, as to show that the Saiyan has reached his original form, only it's a godlike version of its original form. And then he turns Super Saiyan, so obviously it's going to be Super Saiyan-like, but with God Ki. So I do like that attention to detail. Other than that, I gotta say, the fight itself looked pretty cool. It looked a lot better than last episode, where the fights was on and off. For one moment it would be good animation, and then another moment it would be bad animation. Although Frieza's eyes did look weird in this one scene where he came out and was walking towards Goku. But other than that, the fight relatively stayed unchanged. It's not gonna look like it did in Resurrection F, oddly. I know, right? But it's not going to look as good as it did in Resurrection F, the movie, but as far as animation goes, this isn't the worst episode. The more I look at Super Saiyan Blue, the more I like it. And when I actually watched it in the movie, I didn't know what to feel. I thought, okay, it looks cool, but now I'm more looking at it more, and the more it's utilized, the more I like it. So, yeah, I'm liking the way it looks. But with that said, we move on to the next episode we'll be reviewing next week, A Chance of Victory in a Critical Situation. It's time for a counterattack, Goku. It's a long title. But with that said, I will see you all then, everybody. Tyrone the God 3 out. Also, quick announcement. I am aware that I've missed a couple of days because of the whole holidays and things like that, but I am making a bit of a comeback, and there's some videos I actually want to do quick discussions over. And with that said, I will see you all then, everybody. Tyrone the God 3 out.